NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Miller. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry here for Kaneng-Nwangu. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off play action. Miller. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. That's some room to run now. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. This is Swift on the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Miller off the play fake. That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right of the yard. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The Giants at 72 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Barkley. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A first down carry for Barkley. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd down. Herbert. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 27-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Down right around the 25. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up in those space it. Not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Barkley, inside handoff. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert, open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Lions are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Now Miller throwing to start the drive. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Miller. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Matt Ioannidis bullying his way in and sticking him to the turf.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From his own end zone, Herbert. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
Here we go. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the bootleg. Miller rolling to his right. He finds his man. Complete. That's Farmer. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ready.
Here's Miller on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They begin with a run by Barkley. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Herbert now. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a giant 1st down on a gain of 16.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Touchdown, Giants! Anthony Schwartz, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants have got it back to within a score. So that's going to be a nice one for the passing stats, and that's how it will go down in the stat sheet. But the success of that play, no doubt, all thanks to the talents of the wideout.
Oh, he was definitely the recipient of good blocking as well, especially at the line of scrimmage. And once he got around the corner, you got the sense that no one was going to get him. Really nice ball handling, too, in order to get it to him.
Osweiler good with the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in 1st place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that 1st round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will work his way out of bounds here at the 25-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 52 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Adafe Owe there on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Miller.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Ready.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson from the left hash. This from 37. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will push the lead up to 12-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just...
Herbert has it knocked free.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Herbert. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there. A big one.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air. Nice chunk of yardage there. And then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Herbert takes it and just pops it forward.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Herbert back to the air. And it's caught. Touchdown! Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I'm going to play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go now. Blasted. Right, 97.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This taken in at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously puts it on the carpet. It's out. But they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game. That has a chance to tighten up considerably.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Swift.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43.
54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Fulton. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 on a Giants touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick-6.
I think that's a great observation, too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
Extra point now by Boswell. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Miller now looking to throw on second down. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's a gain of 35. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Up the middle they go. Franklin. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Miller to throw on third down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
A gain of 3, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Herbert's throw taken in by Samuel. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And some room to work. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 25 yards that time. Here's Herbert. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they tried to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Third quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle with Barkley. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
63 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Giants are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the 4th.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as good running gets them to about the 44.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Miller. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Now a give right side Swift.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll try it now with Swift.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Deep in the red zone, seemed like they had their mind made up that that was 4-down territory, and now they've got it inside the 5.
I like the way you looked at that because you're thinking just like a play caller and a head coach.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
DeAndre Swift.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Boswell for the extra point. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul not only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
Takes it at the 7. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
on the ground and swift to start the drive. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
Tackle there by Michael Pierce.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here's Logan Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
123 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
And is this